If you're struggling to fight like a pro in Fortnite, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the tips I've seen pros use to become insanely good at fighting. Being a good fighter is one of the hardest parts of the game, as you must master multiple different principles in order to be good. If you do enjoy today's video, please feel free to drop a like and hit that subscribe button, because I'll be putting out much more similar content like this. Okay, so starting off, it's important we talk about warming up. Now, there are two main fundamentals when it comes to warming up. These are your aim and your mechanics. Now, your aim can be practiced both inside and outside of Fortnite. Outside of Fortnite, you can use aim trainers such as Kovacs is a very popular application, or aim labs. And inside of Fortnite, it can be practiced with maps such as Raiders V4 practice map, where there are a variety of aim training drills. I find spending at least 30 minutes a day focusing on your aim is a common thing when improving your fighting, and it also helps crucial skills such as mouse control. Obviously, these are both benefits when it comes to fighting, as if you're missing shots, you're only going to disadvantage yourself within fights. Next up, we have to talk about mechanics. Now, mechanics include your builds and edits, and these can be warmed up through a variety of routines such as free building or edit tunnels or courses. Now, you can again find these in practice maps such as Raiders V4 practice map or polarized warm-up map. Again, both of these maps that I have mentioned do both aim and mechanics for warming up. Now, practicing your edits can allow you to further improve your crosshair placement as well as speeding up your edit speed, obviously a bonus when it comes to fighting. Lastly, it's also important to warm up using a piece control section, because piece control drills and tunnels allow you to replicate the fights and situations/scenarios that you may face in real games such as tournaments. After this, you should find your aim be pretty snappy, with also your mechanics such as your builds and piece control also feeling good as well. For my next point, I want to talk about how Fortnite is a learning curve, because you see, you might practice your aim and mechanics regularly every single day, but it won't mean that in 1 or 2 weeks time you will be the next Peterbot making thousands of dollars in earnings, because that is not how it works. It's important to note that even if you do practice and follow all the tips I show you in today's video, you won't automatically turn into Peterbot, because you see, what Peterbot and other pros like him have to their advantage is years and years of experience. Now, this experience is taking fights at the highest level, whether this is in FNCS Grand Finals or just a solo Victory Cup Finals game. Over time, this plays to the advantage of the more experienced players, as they will become less nervous in high pressure situations within fight. Because you see, nerves can impact your ability to use correctly the aspects you have practiced, like your correct piece control and like hitting your shots with your aim. This means that often a more experienced player will make less of these crucial mistakes, like missing shots or using the wrong piece control, which will ultimately lead to the more experienced players winning more fights. You see, how you guys can combat this though is by pushing yourself into taking fights in these high pressure situations, such as solo cash cup games when you're high up on the leaderboard. You see, the more fights you take, the more you will see improvements within your gameplay. It's not about getting better in 1 week's time. This is a long process in order to improve your fighting, but once you get to that end goal, it will be 100% worth it. Okay, so now I'm going to be teaching you guys some aggressive fighting strategies, which you can learn and use within your gameplay. You see, if you can learn to master aggressive fighting, it will allow you to finish fights faster and be more efficient by taking less damage during fights. You see, when pushing an opponent, you want to make sure that you are first to deal damage onto your opponent, as it allows you to continue being aggressive within the fight. Now let me show you a few examples of the best ways to aggressively pressure your opponent when they are playing defensively, such as being boxed up. Okay, so the first way to pressure your opponent's box is from a diagonal scenario. So you can set up boxes like this to play from, like so, and then you want to make sure that you're keeping constant pressure on your opponent's walls, just waiting for them to edit out and make a mistake like so you can end the fight quickly. Okay, so now on to the second way. Let's say you're going to pickaxe your opponent's wall like this, trying to bait them into a shot, but they don't take it, and they make this play right here by editing the front 2 tiles of their cone up in order to put an extra piece of them material between you and them. Now you can expect them to go out one of 2 ways, either out the top, which you can block off by some simple pre-piece like this. If they edit up, boom, you can box them in, free shot. You can even then box up here, play from that like so. Or if they don't decide to do that and they decide that they're in fact going to go out the side, you can already block this off with pre-piece like so, and then you can play this right hand peek like here to finish the fight on your opponent quickly. So the third way is by pressuring your opponent from above. Let's say you have a box right here and the opponent is in this box right here. You can simply lie down pressure with your AR or some sort of spray gun to take the cone. Then once you've got the cone, you can play from this scenario. You see, you can pickaxe the opponent, and what they're likely to do when you're double pickaxing at this right here is they're likely to make this open edit right there. As they do that, you then reset the wall, and during this time, they're going to try and jump, take a shot at you. What they're actually going to do though is end up shooting out your wall like so, and that will leave you a free shot at your opponent, where you can then place a ramp, boom, pieced, fight over quickly. Okay, so now we've got to talk about some defensive fighting strategies. However, playing defenses is often a lot harder. This is because you're either fighting on low HP and pretty shambles, or the opponent that you're fighting is clearly a better player than you, or at least you feel that way. But I'm going to show you guys a few defensive strategies which you can use to help turn fights in your favour. So the first defensive strategy when you're being pressured is just to create space. Now this could be a simple 2x2 like so, but this uses quite a lot of mats. So if someone is approaching a 1x1 and they're pressuring you, just create alternate boxes like one out, one to the side, and then you have multiple different angles to play from and fight for. You can then also retreat and also extend the tunnels if you then want to help fight from the different sides of the boxes. The second defensive strategy is through the use of pre-fires, because you can't play scared of your opponent the entire time. At some point you have to deal damage back onto your opponent if you're going to be successful within the fight. Pre-fires are anticipating when your opponent is going to break a structure, for example, when your opponent is going to make an edit play, and just clicking your trigger to shoot your gun exactly at the perfect time where you'll eliminate your opponent before you give them a chance to see you, basically pre-firing what they're going to do. So it's now got to the point in the video where I want to talk to you guys about some practice maps which you can use to help improve your skill. I also want to quickly bring to your attention I'm trying to get 15,000 subscribers by the end of summer, so if you haven't already, please do go below and subscribe for more content just like this. But let's talk you guys through some practice maps to help you practice your new strategies such as your mechanics, piece control, aim that you've all been learning throughout this video. Starting off we have Martor's Turtle Wars. Now I prefer this a lot to box fights because you get a lot more fights in the same period of time compared to box fights. You also get to fight a lot of different players and their different playstyles, and the skill of the players in this is often quite good, so it's very good practice and you should play this for around 20 minutes, alternating between this and other maps. Next up we have the realistic 1v1s. Now obviously, like I said, you want to alternate all these maps together in order to film like 1 hour of your practice routine. But realistic 1v1s are really good, but you want to make sure that you're 1v1ing a good caliber of player. If you need help with this, I do have a Discord link in the description down below which you can join and go to the looking for team section and find somebody to 1v1. But these are very good again at recreating those realistic in-game fights, which will help you improve your fighting when it does come to those scenarios in a solo victory cup, for example. Lastly, I want to talk about 1v1 zone wars now, specifically maps by like Panville or something like that, where you can select whether you go for height or like mid layers or something like that. Again, you want to make sure that you're fighting a really good caliber of player in this because it helps you improve your fighting due to its fast-paced nature, and also the fact that you also don't have unlimited materials, so it can get difficult during these fights and again replicates an in-game scenario. Okay, so for the final part of this video, I want to talk to you guys about getting the best in-game practice possible. Now, whether this is in ranked or tournament modes, you guys want to make sure that you're fighting every player you see. This is because the more fights you take, the more you're going to learn to improve. Now, let's say you're playing a ranked game, for example, and you take a lot of unnecessary damage within a fight. You might still win it or you might lose this fight, but it's important that after you have finished the game, you go back into replay and analyze the fight. You want to analyze the peaks you made or the stupid plays which you made which led to you taking a bunch of damage in the fight. Then simply note these down on a piece of paper or a Word document and try and iron them out of your gameplay. If you can iron out the mistakes which make you take lots of damage, then hopefully over time, I guarantee you guys that your fighting will begin to improve and you'll be more efficient, finishing fights quickly and also taking less damage, helping you to become a better fighter overall. I really hope this video has helped you guys out. If it has, please do make sure that you have dropped a like and subscribed. Invest in the channel. We're trying to get 15,000. Thank you guys very much for watching and I will see you in the next video. That's all from me. Peace out.